Welcome to Friday Night Youth.
Welcome to Friday Night Youth. Welcome to Friday Night Youth. Welcome. Welcome to Friday Night Youth. Welcome to Friday Night Youth. Welcome. Hi everyone. Welcome to Friday Night. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Youth. Okay, before anything gets to anywhere, I'm just gonna make sure that the suspense is cut and just tell you what it is that I wanted to tell you. The big announcement is this: I am not leaving. But I am stepping down from my role as youth leader of Wythenshawe Community Church. So you've probably got questions, and I also want to explain what's been going on. So hopefully by the end of tonight you would, be in the know and be feeling okay about what's happening.
How many apostles did Jesus have? A. 20, B. 15, C. 12. Which book tells about the visit from the wise men to baby Jesus? A. Matthew, B. John, C. Acts. Who betrayed Jesus? A. John, B. Gabriel, C. Judas. Which angel appeared to Mary? A. Gabriel, B. Jude, C. Zechariah. How does God first appear to Moses? A. A wall, B. A burning bush, C. An animal. What is a symbol of God's promise to Noah? A. A dove, B. A rainbow, C. The sun. Which day did God create plants? A. 2nd, B. 7th, C. 3rd. Who received the 10 Commandments from God? A. John, B. Moses, C. Luke. This young boy defeated a giant. A. David, B. Saul, C. Moses. What did Jesus' father do as a job? A. Tax collector, B. Fisherman, C. Carpenter.
So, fun fact, my official title is actually youth minister, but nobody ever called me that. I only wrote that on like official emails to make me sound really important, which is really sad because I really wanted everyone to call me a youth minister. But people are like, youth minister? But you're not a guy. Shouldn't you be like youth ministress? No. So I really want to start by saying this. Being a youth leader, being your youth leader was never just a job. A job is something that you have that pays you money. Let's just say nobody goes into becoming a youth leader for the money. That's it's because there's not that much money in it. Neither was it about me trying to build a career. I think most of you know kind of a little bit of my background is that I studied biomedical science at Aberdeen University, and then I did a master's in medical physiology at University of East London, and really after my master's I was kind of ready to start kind of building my career, trying to get somewhere. After kind of dropping the whole I want to be a doctor thing, yeah, I did have some idea about what I wanted to do, but then Jesus happened. Yeah, my focus became Jesus and not career or wanting to build something in this world that's going to pass away anyway. Most of the time, like when you end up working for church, it's not really like, oh, you're looking for a job, or definitely it's not been in my experience. We hear the term used that people are called into ministry, or called to serve, called to pastor, called to lead, that kind of thing, and I just kind of want to unpack what that being called means. So actually, minister is another word for servant. And so when I say that I'm a youth minister, what I'm saying is that I'm a youth servant because I've been called to serve young people. To be called to serve is actually a call to lay your life down, because we're following in the example that Jesus set. The Bible says that in Matthew 20, verse 28, that the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve others and give his life as a ransom for many. That is my example of serving and what it means to serve. And actually, this call is not just unique to me. Everyone who is working for church, serving in church, in any capacity has responded to the call to serve, and that call extends out to absolutely anyone who calls themselves a Christian, because we have been called to be Christ-like, and this is what Jesus did. He served, and so if you're a Christian, you should be serving. Massive shout out to anyone and everyone who works for church or volunteers for church, or serves in any way. Honor those people is a difficult role for a lot of reasons, and everything that they do is a sacrifice. So honor the people that you see working hard in your church, and if you're one of those people, then I honor you for working hard for your church. This is what it looked like for me. I decided to do an internship in a church that I was worshipping at in London, and I did that for a year, and then I took on the role of the youth pastor, youth leader, did that for another year, and then I left and moved on, and actually moved to Bradford. During that time, what God really made it clear to me was what my purpose was. He helped me to see the things that I was passionate about, and one of those things was young people, and youth ministry, and young people in church in particular. and just kind of being someone that can help and support young people. So I really feel like in those times, those kind of first 2 years in ministry, God really gave me a heart for young people, which has set me on a course to dedicate my whole life in serving young people. Serving for me has looked like a lot of different things. I've been youth pastor, I've been youth babysitter, youth coordinator, youth manager, youth older sister, youth auntie, youth encourager, youth ambassador, youth spokesperson. Yeah. But in all of those roles and all of those things that I've done, especially in the last 2 years, honestly, I found so much joy in it. Not saying that it was all like smooth sailing and easy, it wasn't. But joy isn't like happiness. Joy isn't dependent on the things that are happening around you. Joy is the gift that God gives you. And you really find that joy when you're doing the thing that God has called you to do. And I definitely had, a lot of that. So like, how do you know that you've been called, I don't know if there's anyone watching who is wondering whether or not they've been called into ministry. But how do you know whether you've been called or not? Well, I think it's pretty... Did you just hear... Did my dad just call me? I think I just heard someone call me. Do you get it? That's how you know you've been called. When God calls your name, you've been called. And what do you do when someone calls your name? Yeah. You answer. If you live in an African house, it's always yes. Yeah, if my dad calls me, sometimes I pretend like I can't hear it until he gets tired and switches and calls my sister's name instead. But what I definitely don't do, and what nobody in an African house does, is say no when they get called. And here's the thing, like I said before, like if you're a Christian, you've been called. Like Jesus knows your name, and he's calling you. He's calling you right now, and he's gonna keep calling you until you respond. And your response can either be yes or no. You might try and drag it out a bit and say, maybe. But eventually you're gonna have to give an answer. So there's this really popular verse, Romans 8 verse 28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, not for the good of everyone, those who love him. FYI, those who love God obey his commandments. So you can't be claiming that you love God and then you're doing XYZ and then expecting that all things will work together for your good. It doesn't work like that. Clearly it says something else here. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified. And so this is what I mean when I say that we have all been called. God has a plan and a purpose for you, and he's calling you to say yes to that plan and that purpose. And so yes, I'm saying that God is calling you right now. What is your answer going to be? Jesus is calling. Of my Christian life, I think I just kind of ignored Jesus and whatever it is that I was hearing. I was just focused on doing my own thing and wanting to live my life my own way, and my ears were just completely blocked to hearing the voice of God. It really took just a terrible time in my life for me to come face to face with Jesus, and it's in that really dark place that when Jesus rescued me, I said yes straight away. It wasn't like, oh, Jesus called me and then I said yeah. Like when he saved me, I said yes. I said wherever it is that you want me to go, whatever it is you want me to do, I'm saying yes. And I made a vow right then and there that I would always be saying yes to Jesus, no matter what the cost was to me, because he saved me, I'm always saying yes.
Three, two, one, go. Go on. You're on 5. 6. Go on. You've got 30 seconds left. 7. Go on. 8, 9, 10, go on. You got 9. One more. 10. You got... Carry on. You got 10 seconds left. Get like 2 in. 11. Go on, 12. Just do one more. Okay, time is up.
So the reason why I'm explaining it in this much depth is because I want you to understand that this wasn't just a job for me. It's my life. This is something that I can't just leave, you know? My role might be changing, but the main thing is still the main thing. Matthew 8:28, the verse that really defined everything that I do. After Jesus had resurrected and he told his 11 disciples to climb up a mountain and meet him there. And then when he met them there, they worshipped him. This is what he said. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. I take that verse very personally. I really feel like this is what God is saying to me, but also to all Christians. This is what we've been called to do. And so this is what, this is what I'm going to dedicate my life doing. It's so funny how, so the disciples had this mountaintop experience. And I also like to think that I also had a mountaintop experience. I went all the way to Canada and climbed a great big mountain, which was 2,700 and something meters in the air, which for reference, it's like the Shard in London times 8.8. That's how tall this mountain was. Yes, I'm bragging because when you do something like that, you get some serious bragging rights. Yeah, that's right. Climb a mountain and then come talk to me. Okay. I climbed this mountain. I actually did that just before I started working at WCC as youth leader. You know, while I was up on that mountain, it's so weird, but God called my name. I was up there, and I really want like supernatural encounter. I was like, Holy Spirit, just meet me here, you know, let's have a great time, impart some stuff into me, and, you know, anoint me, you know, that kind of thing. And it wasn't really like that, because climbing that mountain was hard work, and then it was really cold up there, so I couldn't even stay up at the top for very long. But something really interesting happened, because there's no signal at all whatsoever. And I got all the way to the top and nothing really happened. I mean, I was worshipping on my way all the way to the top, and I was so excited when I got to the top, and that whole experience was amazing. But nothing had really happened. There was no like super like spiritual moment. And then I get a text message on my phone, and it's just my name in capital letters. And I was like, what? Like, I hadn't, like, there was no signal whatsoever. And it was just my name in capital letters. And if that's not God calling me, then I don't even know what it is. Yeah, so I just thought that was really cool. There's a lot more in that, which I could go on about, but I don't want to. Otherwise this video is going to be really long. And the point I'm trying to make is that I'm stepping down, but I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving ministry. I'm not leaving being a youth leader, because that is a solid part of who I am. My heart for young people has not changed. I'm still I'm probably even more passionate about working with young people and equipping young people and sharing Jesus to young people, more so than ever.
That place me on the rock that stands, and I hold true to the one who breaks my fall and lifts me time and time again. Oh my God, so good, you never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Oh my God, so good, you never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Yeah. This freedom purchased by the highest price, this grace outweighing all my shame. 'Cause I'm made new through the power of sacrifice, from death now raised to life again. Oh my God, so good, you never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Oh my God, so good, you never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Yeah. You set this joy in my heart. I'm not a slave to sin, so I'm singing. You Christ arise in your freedom. You are good. When you make a promise, Jesus, you keep it. You are good. So I praise your name as long as I'm breathing. 'Cause you are good. Come on. I'm not a slave to sin, so I'm singing. You are good. Buried with Christ to rise in your freedom. You are good. When you make a promise, Jesus, you keep it. You are good. So I praise your name as long as I'm breathing. 'Cause you are good, yeah. Oh my God, so good, you never give up. Because of your love for me. Oh my God, so good. You never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Oh my God, so good. You never give up. You never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Oh my God, so good. You never give up. You never give up on me. Oh, what joy I found because of your love for me. Yeah. I'm singing, I'm not a slave to sin, so I'm singing. 'Cause you are good. I'm buried with Christ to rise in your freedom. 'Cause you are good. When you make a promise, Jesus, you keep it. 'Cause you are good. So I praise your name as long as I'm breathing. 'Cause you are good, yeah. You are good to us, God. Oh, you never give it up.
I look like I've changed clothes, but I haven't. I just lost the light, so I had to rejig some things. Anyway, so after that mountaintop experience, and I started the role, and then Pastor Ras became the lead pastor of our church, and then he set the mission of the church, and the mission is to work together to make Jesus known in all nations. Although I really didn't want to stay in Manchester anymore, I wanted to go somewhere else. And I just surrendered to God and just said, yes, okay, if you want me to stay here, then I'll stay here. This was really encouraging when Pastor Ras became lead pastor, and he was just setting the mission, and I just thought, you know what, I'm on board with this. Like, this is a church that I really want to be a part of what God is doing. And then the mission statement there says this, and this is all on the website, so don't think that I'm just like, I literally just went to a website and got this. So you need to know these things. So our mission, the mission of Wythenshawe Community Church, is to be a church that provides a place of refuge and restoration for all, and to be a place where all its members are inspired to connect, grow, and to use their God-given potential to make Jesus known in their sphere of influence. It might not be very clear to see right now, but that mission statement is exactly what's happening in my life. By being at WCC and all these churches that I've been a part of, really, I've been inspired, I've been connected, and I've been able to grow there. And the whole point of that is so that I can be released into my sphere of influence, and really claim that for Christ, to bring hope and restoration in those places. If you haven't got it yet, I hope that you'll get it now. But like, the whole of this lockdown has shown us that church is not just the building. Church is the people. And our church being a multinational church, imagine if all of us were inspired and connected to grow, and empowered to be released into each sphere of influence all over the world, in every nation. Can you imagine the kind of impact that we would have for Jesus? And that is the mission of our church. And so I am 100% all about that. I really feel like that is what's happening in my life right now. So I just really want to thank the leadership team of the church. I want to thank Pastor Mike, Mama Mary, for the legacy that they have built this church on, the things that they have worked on and done in the background that nobody has any idea about, but our church is standing because of them, and we're actually standing on their shoulders, of everything that they've done and sowed into the lives of people in Wythenshawe. And I also want to thank Pastor Ras and Auntie Mills, just for their incredible leadership, even in the last 2 years. It's just been amazing what you have done in our church, and it's been such an honor to be a part of that. And then the wider leadership team, like people that you don't really see a lot of, but are the backbone of how we do church and how church runs. I just really want to thank all of you. It's just been such an honor to be part of that team. And I am so passionate about leadership. I know that I'm going to continue to be involved in leadership of some sort, whether it's in church or out of church, whatever. So I'm just really blessed and privileged to have had this time to learn from people. I've been in a place where I've been able to grow, and you have really, Pastor Ras, like you've hit it with this mission, like you've done it in me, and I just want to thank you so much for that, because this is what's happening next with me. This is the what I'm going to do next is I am going to take the things that I've learnt over the last few years, the thing that God has been using to prepare me for this time, the things that I've learned in ministry with young people, and my other passion, which is sport, and I'm gonna find a way to merge those two together with sports ministry. So that is what I'm going to be doing next. Don't ask me what that's going to look like, because I don't really know, but best believe that I'm going to be making a lot of noise about it. My heart is for young people to know Jesus, no matter what that looks like. But I really love sport. I love fitness. I love all of those things, and I think that it's such a great way to engage people. And I'm really passionate about mobilizing the church, the local church, to be part of using sport in the community to restore people's lives and families. I think sport is a great place of refuge, because it has been for me. I can look back over my life and just all the things that I've been through, right from primary school, and being part of a team and playing games has always been a place where I felt safe, a place where I can be myself. If we were able to bring Jesus in that, can you imagine the way people's lives can be changed? Can you imagine the kind of growth a young person can have just by someone showing them love and care and attention, and teaching them something and having fun with them and equipping them to be a confident person, to be able to speak well, to be able to communicate, work together as a team, to even grow in their leadership gifting. Guys, this is my passion, and I'm so privileged that I get to pursue that. I don't take this for granted. I don't take the platform that I've been given for granted. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very grateful for the little small area of influence that I get, and I want to use that for the glory of God. I want to use it to let the name of Jesus shine bright, and if God can use me in any way, then I'm always saying yes to that. So you might be wondering, but why do you have to step down? Why can't you do all the things that you want to do, and also continue being youth leader? Well, the answer to that question, darling, is that there's just not enough time. Being a youth leader is a whole job. It's a whole job. I think that young people are so important, and youth ministry is so important. It needs and demands all your time and all your attention. I wish I could do both, but sports ministry is something that's new. You tell me, who do you know that's doing sports ministry? What do you know about sports ministry? Is there anybody doing anything like that in Wythenshawe? Nope. So there's going to be a lot of work to make that happen. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I believe that, with God, all things are possible. That's the only reason why I'm stepping down. It's because I want to give this my full attention, and just see where God takes it and see where God leads me.
Patience, patience, this timing's never late. Fearless, fearless, I know who lives in me. My light and my salvation, the one I put my faith in, day and night. Let's go! I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. Told my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life. Let's go. Jesus, Jesus, the name that never fails. With me, always with me. I know you make a way. My light and my salvation, the one I put my faith in, day and night. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you, yeah. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life. Let's go. I trust you cause you're perfect, trust you cause you're good. I trust because you love like no one ever could. Yeah, you are my provider, you are my best friend. You will never fail, you're faithful to the end. I trust you cause you're perfect, trust you cause you're good. I trust because you love like no one ever could. Yeah, you are my provider, you are my best friend. You will never fail. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you, yeah. I won't doubt you for a second, for a second. Faith will be my eyes. Throw my worries through the wind and now I'm dancing. I trust you all my life.
The youth ministry, or our youth ministry, is not about me. It is about you guys. God has been doing so much in you guys individually, and has been doing so much in all of you as a youth group, and being part of our church. And He's going to do so much more. Reflecting back over the last couple of years, Not gonna lie, I've done a lot. I've achieved a lot, you know, I've smashed some goals, but there are still things that I really wanted to do that I wasn't able to do. I've cried about those things because I'm a goal setter, and I get annoyed when I don't do the things that I set my mind to do. But I've had to surrender those things to God. Even, you know, knowing that I was gonna step down and move on to something else. But you know, the amazing thing that I've been seeing right now is that everything that I've been praying for, everything that we have been praying for, you may or may not know that you know, at the start of the year we had 21 days of prayer and fasting, and man, the majority of that was praying for you guys, young people, and in all the prayer meetings that I've been to, like, you know, like in Manchester, or even national prayer meetings that have gone on, like, there's been a massive call to prayer for young people, because God is doing something. He's about to move in an incredible way, and I definitely want to be a part of that, but sometimes God needs you to shift out of the way so he can do the thing that he wants to do, and I really feel like this is a part of that. So some of the things that I really wanted to do at WCC, that I wasn't able to, I really think that he's going to do that. Still, with the things that I'd been, you know, praying to God for and wanting to see happen, I don't think that God was saying no to those things. They didn't happen with me as leader, but I really believe that they're going to happen anyway, in spite of the fact that I'm not going to be leader, and maybe one can say they're going to happen because I am not the leader. God gave me a platform to stand on. He gave me a microphone to speak, and he put me under a spotlight. And I really did that to the best of my ability. But I really feel that God is calling me to step away so I can hand over that platform to someone else, hand over that microphone to someone else, and get out of the spotlight so someone else can shine. And I'm really happy to say that, you know, the person that's going to take over from me next is Paul, and that is actually an answered prayer, because I'm so passionate about empowering young people to grow in their leadership giftings, and Paul is definitely an amazing leader, a natural leader, and he's going to do so much. He's going to do so much with you guys. He's going to do so much for the church and the youth ministry, and God is going to do so much through him. So I'm really excited about that. And that's the kind of culture that I really want to encourage to grow and within Shore. It's where young people are given platforms, are given microphones, because their voices are important. Your voices are important. So this is officially my last week, and this will be my last ever Friday night. Nobody knows the future, but my last ever Friday night youth, officially handing over to Paul. And I've had a sneak peek on like some of the things that have been planned. I'm really excited for what God is going to do next. And I want you guys to be excited too. I really love it when things change. I like change a lot, but I know that some people get a bit anxious about things changing, especially when it's something that's really important to them. But just be encouraged, because change is a good sign, especially in this situation. It means that some greater things are about to happen. So another question that you might be wondering, maybe not you young people, but maybe you adults, is why now? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Oh, actually, not middle. We're towards the end of a pandemic. I get it that it seems like it's a bit foolish in the natural. So that's like when you're seeing things just as they are. It doesn't make a lot of sense that I would do this, but also it didn't make a lot of sense that I would volunteer for a year, working 6 days a week with no pay, after just completing my master's and getting a decent grade. Actually, it didn't make a lot of sense then, and a lot of my friends and people around me were just kind of like, what the heck are you doing? But just gonna say the same thing that I said then. Following Jesus, that's what I'm doing. And it doesn't always feel amazing. Sometimes it feels really scary. Sometimes I get a bit anxious and worried, but every time I do, God always reminds me about, like, we had a whole series on worry, and there's just no way that I can go back to worrying about stuff when I've learned that what God says about worry, and we're not supposed to worry about things, what we're gonna eat, what we're gonna wear, how we're gonna pay for the phone bill, how we're gonna pay for my protein powder. Like, I'm not worried. And I praise God for that, because I know that it's only by His grace that I'm not worried about those things. Pretty sure other people in my family get a little bit worried for me. And if you're worried for me, then stop it. Don't be worried, because God has got me. No, He knows exactly what I need. And this is what it looks like to trust God for what you need. It looks like you're being a bit foolish to trust God. But if you know who God is, then you know that it's absolutely not foolish. But even if you think it's foolish, then I'm going to take that, because I'd rather be a fool for Christ than the other thing, to be just a fool, just a random fool. I'm a fool for Jesus, yeah, whatever. I claim it, I receive it, I'm blessed by it. I'm a fool for Jesus. If it means I'm crazy, if it means I end up being homeless, I don't care, because I'm still following Jesus anyway. And I know that He will never let me get homeless unless it's part of His plan, which I'm surrendered to. So yeah, whatever He says, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it, because I trust Him. I trust Him. I trust Him. I trust Him. There was a thing that happened earlier on with Friday Night Youth. I was doing these 1-minute challenges, and there was the mushy peas challenge that didn't quite go the way that I planned it to. Oh my God! Oh. And some people have decided to continue to remind me of that failure, and I refuse to go out like that. So therefore, for that reason, definitely not trying to do this thing in 1 minute, because that's a myth. That's not going to happen. But this challenge just needs to be completed. Otherwise, I don't think I can show my face anywhere. the haters. You can do anything. Anything. Put your mind to it. I want to be sick. I don't want it in my stomach. I did it. Oh my gosh. My dad just walked into my room and saw me like over this plastic bag because I'm trying to make myself sick. And he was like, what you did? I said, I'm trying to make myself sick. He was like, why? Because I just ate this whole kind of mushy peas. And then he said, and you have to record it. And I said, yeah. And then he said, you're becoming weird. Oh my god. Just gonna end in the same way that I started. I am not leaving. I don't plan on going anywhere unless Jesus says go here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. WCC for a long time. My family have been in this church for a long time, and this is their home. This is my home church. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So it's a bit weird with us being online and not actually in So church. The first thing that I'm going to do is take a massive time out. I'm just going to try and pull back and spend lots of time with the Lord. Stay off my phone as much as I can. Read my Bible a lot, read books that I've wanted to read, and just continue growing. And I think that God is calling me to do that, to prepare me for whatever it is that He's got next. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But just want you to know that I'm still here. You can still reach me on my phone anytime, but you just have to ask for your parents' permission because I'm no longer your leader, so I'm just a regular person, regular adult. Yes, you need your parents' permission before you can talk to me. But you know what's really cool is that our church it's not like any church that I've been to. Like we're like a family, and so your parents are like my aunties and my uncles, and and I'm like a big older sister, and we'll be careful with things like safeguarding, and I've got to let your parents know if I'm chatting to you about stuff. But know that you can still, talk to me. You can still call me, ask me questions. Still going to be about in that way. But Paul's going to be the main lead with all things youth, which is really exciting. It's really exciting. Oh. So I have been talking a lot. And thank you all for listening to that massive announcement. I really hope that you have taken some of those things on board, and I do also really believe that God would have been speaking to you through the power of the Holy Spirit, through the words that I've been saying. I also hope that you have been inspired by something or anything that I've said, and in case you should have any questions about anything that's happened, then direct your questions to Paul or Pastor Ras. And if in doubt, if they can't answer those questions, then you can come to me because I am still here in it. Just one final thing before I leave. I'm really gonna miss being your youth leader, and it's probably gonna hit me really hard next week, and I'm gonna be really sad about that. But I know that I'm gonna stay in touch with some of you. And I'm just really excited for what God is going to do in you, and excited to see how much all of you have grown when lockdown is over. And I might be kicking some people's legs because they've become taller than me. See you later.
Send me now,